Welcome back, everybody. Today we're talking about Keep It Simple Poison Ivy. Now, if you've ever had poison ivy or poison oak, you know that this is something that is such a headache. It's uncomfortable, it's gross, it lasts forever, and it's something that even though there's a little bit of effort put in at the front end of an experience like a hike or sometimes spent out in the woods with camping, it's worth doing a little bit of preparation beforehand to avoid it. However, if you do get poison ivy, I'm here today to talk to you about some of the things that you can do to help make the condition and the experience bearable. Now, poison ivy is something where we hear the little quote, leaves of three, let it be. But if you're like me, you've seen so many three-leafed plants that it's almost impossible to identify. In addition, I personally have gotten a number of really bad cases of poison oak. So it kind of doesn't matter for some of us what the offending plants, quote unquote, look like. The fact is, we're going to need to be careful every time we go out into the greenery. Now, today I'm wearing a really sheer blouse. This is the kind of thing that I would put on along with lightweight pants so that even if it's hot in July, if I want to go out in the woods, I personally have struggled with poison ivy and poison oak enough, and poison sumac too, to cover up. So I've got just a tank top underneath here, but I put this sheer covering on over to try to help protect the length of my arms and all the way down to my ankles. I never wear flip-flops or sandals in the woods. I always cover my feet and ankles because, of course, a lot of that stuff grows down low. Now, after I come out of the woods, I go straight to my trusty water bottle, not only for a big old guzzle of water, but also because poison ivy and poison oak and poison sumac are dissolvable by just water. You don't even have to have soap. So all it takes is about 5 minutes of conscious rinsing, just rinsing off your hands, rinsing off your ankles, any part of you that may have been exposed. It's so easy. You don't have to have special compounds or anything. However, if you've drunk all your water on your walk, I have my handy dandy bag of poison ivy items, and one of the ones that I like to keep in my car glove box is Technu. Technu is a compound that will allow you to remove poison ivy oils if you don't have water. So this stuff is just something where you put it over your skin, you put it on like a lotion, and then you just wipe it off with a towel. Maybe you have to take off your socks and use your socks in a pinch. And of course, if you have water, then you probably don't even need this, but it can be rinsed off with water as well. Technu is something you can find in any drugstore. In fact, everything I'm going to show you today, except a prescription medicine, can be found in the drugstore. So Technu is a great one to have right in your glove box so that if you've drunk all your water while you've been out and about, you can still use this stuff to help remove the oils of these kinds of irritants. Now, if I come home and find that I have developed a case of poison ivy, how do I know? Well, first of all, I'm going to start to itch. I'm going to this spot because I had it all up and down this arm once, and I've even had it on my face. I've had it in some pretty uncomfortable spots. So it's really critical to know how you respond. First thing I'll find is that I'm itching unconsciously. The next thing you'll find is that it's starting to bubble up, or it'll have little pinpricks of red dots that will later turn into, I'm sorry to say, blisters. This condition just gets worse and worse. It's good to know because if you can prevent it, it's so much better than going through all the hassle. If you start to see those little pinprick, itchy red spots, or you're already to the point of blistering, you're going to want to get some more of the products that I have here today. This one's called Ivy Dry. Now, Ivy Dry is a product that must be used with caution. It comes with a spray head, but I gotta tell you, I've used this stuff on large surface areas and it led for me to cellulitis, which is a skin infection that causes your skin to swell up. I had my arm almost twice its size, and when I had it on my face swelled up. So it's really critical for me. I put a note in marker that says, pin prick spots only, meaning I only apply this stuff by dipping a Q-tip into the bottle. I unscrew the lid and I just put it on the little tiny pinprick spots. I never spray this stuff over a large surface area because for me it led to cellulitis. No fun. So that's the next thing you can use if you've got little spots. If you've got larger areas, that's when you're going to go to your standby, your calamine lotion, or a product called Ivarest, which is the same idea. Both of them have that kind of flesh colored, skin colored cream inside. What does this do? Well, first of all, it looks like crazy because you got pink crap all over you, but it dries the poison ivy. Hate to tell you, but after you get the itchy little spots, the next step is what? They burst open and they ooze. It is the most awful thing, because if you go out in public, you can't be having some nasty oozy thing. So I went to my drugstore. By the way, all these items can be found in your local drugstore. I went to my drugstore and picked up Curad's adhesive bandage squares. I love them because you open them up like a Band-Aid. They already have the adhesive around the edges. This is not one, this is a facsimile, but then you don't have to have crazy amounts of sports tape all over you. You just lay that sucker on there, the adhesive holds it, and you're able to go about your business even though you've got that nasty stuff under there. It will have to be changed every few hours because those blisters are going to continue to weep. It is so awful. Now, the thing to know about that is that if you cover poison ivy, it will make it itch more. Think about anything that's itchy. If you get it warm and moist, it gets to insane levels of itch. So I only cover poison ivy spots when they're A, oozing, sorry to use that word, and B, out in public in that condition. When I get home, I'm putting my calamine on again. By the way, you will have to wash off old calamine, dry and pat your nasty area, and then put the calamine on again a number of times a day. Like I said, so much hassle. It's worth getting it right before you go out. Last little thing I'll share with you is that if you get really bad, and I tend to be very susceptible to poison ivy and very sensitive to it, I get a triamcinolone cream from my doc. This is a prescription cream. Let me see if I can make it visible to you. Well, you get the idea. So, what should I put right here? Can you see it? Sorry. So triamcinolone cream is a steroid cream. Don't even bother, at least I don't even bother with anti-itch cortisone creams. They don't do jack for something as serious as poison ivy. But this stuff actually works in a deeper, more intensive way. It's not going to make it go away in a day. Yes, you are looking at a couple of weeks. And by the way, poison ivy is such that it is systemic. Once it gets into your system, even if you were infected here, you may find spots popping up on the other arm or on your hip. Well, no, poison ivy is not contagious, but the oils, A, do spread if you scratched and then scratch somewhere else. That's how it can pop up somewhere else. Or B, because it's a systemic condition, it will go into your system and pop out in another area of your body. So sadly, 2 weeks after this guy is calming down, you may find it popping up somewhere else. Once again, try to prevent it going forward if you can. Worst comes to worst, like I tend to get it really extremely, you go to urgent care, you get a round of medication, and they work on it again systemically from the inside out with oral medication, in addition to things like your calamine lotion and your triamcinolone cream. Thank you for joining me for another Keep It Simple Poison Ivy. Please subscribe to my channel and share with a friend, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.